Can I have the mic back?
About?
Is that okay?
What were we talking about?
We're going to talk about the Tommy Robinson rally and something that was said, and I have something your viewers can fact check quickly.
Okay.
And it's about that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to give me a mic?
Sure you can.
And I just put this. I already just put this issue.
With me.
Well, yeah. I already just put this issue to Young Bob. You know Young Bob? Who's running a stand over there. We've clashed a lot, but to his credit, at least he's having a discourse now. I sat down, I drew his attention to this, and he responded. So, the background is I went on the Tommy Robinson rally to feel the thing out, okay? I'm not a fan. On the other hand, I don't think he's just a mindless reactionary. I think there's a middle ground.
When you said you went to the rally, were you there for the speeches that took place?
Yeah, I saw the speeches and I was there. There was one speech I booed and I yelled, and nobody kicked back at me, which could have happened. And I want
Did they boo with you?
Not particularly, but all I can tell you is this. I'm going to say two things, one of which you won't like. My honest reading of the Robinson rally was a lot of people there were fairly reasonable people who have what they think are legitimate concerns.
Well, wouldn't I like that? I said that in my video.
Okay, great. Then I'm sorry, I've misjudged you.
Yeah.
I think vast majority of the reasonable people, decent people, who have legitimate concerns, whether they're expressing them and framing them correct is another question, yeah? But at the rally, and I'm going to give you the fact check first on this, and I just did this with Bob and he answered the question. If you go to a video called over 100,000 people joined the largest far-right protest in Britain, which is on YouTube, it's on Novara Media. At time code 250, I watched a guy called Brian Tamaki get up on stage after the haka and say something absolutely reprehensible. And I'm not saying this represents the view of everybody who's a Tommy Robinson fan, okay? But they've got to be asked if they stand by this. The statement he made was this. It's Jesus Christ versus Satan, Christianity versus the rest. Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and whatever else you're into are all false religions. We've got to clean our countries up. We've got to get everything out that doesn't know Jesus Christ. Ban any type of public expression in Christian nations from other religions. Ban halal, ban burqas, ban mosques, ban temples, ban shrines. Okay? This to me is appalling, and it should appall anybody. It's too much. So I'm trying to sell 2 points. Not everybody who was on the Robinson rally is an extremist, and you want to have nuanced dialogue with them. But there are extremists like this infiltrating it, and everybody should distance themselves from these statements because they're appalling. Is that reasonable and helpful?
Yeah, I made a video on this.
Huh?
I've covered everything that you've mentioned in the
video.
video.
I'm so sorry,
yeah.
I didn't know you had. I was actually insofar as I was at the rally and saw it firsthand. So there were some thugs there as well. I mean, some guys almost were going to beat me up because I thought free speech involved potentially burning a flag. I don't want to burn a flag, but I think it's within the logical remit of free speech that you should be able to burn anything.
It wasn't just him, by the way. Even Valentina Gomez said a few statements that I don't think is cohesive for progress to be taking place, and she was singling out Islam in particular as an ideology. And there was another politician as well. He was a politician in a suit. He had a lot of gaps in what he was saying, and he was again making very generalistic statements of Muslims and Islam as well. Yeah. And there was a host that was live streaming it. He made the same thing. So there were at least 4 that I counted, and I got those clips as well. But I added that point that you mentioned, which is I don't believe it was a far-right rally. There were a lot of people that went with legitimate concerns. However, for them to say, and for them to make generalistic statements and saying, no, this march is a march for free speech, when you have certain people that have been okayed and haven't been condemned by the likes of Tommy. He hasn't come out on his Twitter saying this bit of Brian Tamaki, what he said is not indicative of what we have said.
Well, this is why I'm pursuing this question. So there's Danny Tomo, who is one of his lieutenants. I asked him, and he distanced himself from this, not on camera.
We want Danny Tomo has less than 50,000 followers. Tommy Robinson is somebody that he live streams even the discussions that happen at Speaker's Corner. He's the organizer. Let me finish. He's the one that's organized this whole rally. He's the face behind it. So he is somebody that needs to come out as somebody saying, look, this is something we distance ourselves from. This is something that we condemn.
I totally agree. Yeah. We're making the same point. All I'm saying is, so far, this question that you can fact check, I put to young Bob, he's distanced himself, good. I put it to Danny Tomo. He's distanced himself from it. Good, not on camera. Everybody should try and
Not on camera.
I met him at a rally and we chatted. We shook hands. I'm telling you the truth. He did distance himself.
Yeah, but
okay?
we want it on camera. We want it to be shared.
Ideally, I'm sorry I couldn't turn up with the camera crew in here.
I'm not talking about you.
Right.
Because
anyway.
because you said, look, I have to speak in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
So any statement I'm making won't just be addressed to you, it will be addressed to the cameras.
Okay, fine.
So if you're saying that it's not on camera, my general statement or response to that is we'd like that to be on camera.
I agree.
Because that would be a valid rebuttal to what happened.
Right,
or
so
valid
we're
response.
flying the same flag. I think on camera, as many representatives of Tommy Robinson, including particularly Tommy Robinson himself, should disavow themselves from Brian Tamaki's statement. Because I hope we can all agree, it's whatever else you believe, saying that you shouldn't be able to promote other religions in a Christian country is way too much. Yeah?
But saying Islam is the enemy, I don't know why you didn't flag that up. That was also, he literally said Islam is the enemy. Islam should not be in Europe.
I'm trying to stay within the remit of what I can prove and fact check on a video. I didn't hear all the speeches. And I do, we have honest conversations, have problems with some aspects of Islam. I'm a fan of other aspects. That's where I'm at, okay? So
but to say on a rally in which it's supposed to be the biggest rally, according to them, in UK history, then for you to label the entire Islam, you may disagree with it, but to say Islam is not compatible, to say that Islam is the enemy, is that a statement that you would say in front of that gathering?
No, I think it lacks complete nuance. I'd like you to tell me where I can fact check that statement.
Yeah, it's lit. You can watch these, if you type in live stream of the
I did.
march.
You know the time code though, it's a long march.
If you go on my video, there's a bit in which I've got clips, and at the bottom it should have the name of the person that should have the live stream still up.
Okay.
So check it on there.
Yeah, I think to say that Islam, it lacks nuance to say that Islam as a whole is a problem. I think there's a lot of very good Muslims who are very respectful, they live good lives and their religion works for them. I do also think there are elements within Islam which are genuinely problematic, particularly...
But we can say that about any religion.
We can, but they're not all on the sliding scale. Some are more problematic than others. And I do think my reading is that Islam, in conflating politics with spirituality in a way some religions don't, is treading on dodgier water.
No, I disagree completely.
Well, inevitably you would, but I think this is a point of reasonable contention to discuss. In Christianity, you don't get the conflation of state and politics, of state and religion, which these kind of fundamentalists are now trying to reconnect. They're trying to have a nationalistic Christianity, which I don't take to be in the spirit of true gospel Christianity.
Then that needs to be highlighted as well then.
Yeah,
because
completely.
if they are trying to put forward a fundamentalist version of Christianity in which the only religion that's coming under the chopping block is Islam, then that's problematic. What you're now doing is you're attacking a minority in a country that is already persecuted. I mean, Islamophobia, I don't like to kind of rely on this statement too much. However, it's a fact that simply cannot be denied that Islamophobia has gone up in the last few years about 300%, as reported by The Guardian. And if now we have the biggest rally that's taking place, and every 5 minutes they're talking about Islam, Muslims, rapists, this, that, it's not helpful, frankly.
Not helpful, but then, look, I'm always going to steel man. When I went on Robinson, I steel manned the people there, nearly got in trouble for it. When I went on the anti-Trump rally, I steel manned them, okay? So if it's okay, I'll steel man you as well.
Sure.
A general point. My experience of the Muslim media at Speaker's Corner is that they flag their videos generally along the lines of brilliant Muslim destroys stupid atheist, okay? Or brilliant Muslim destroys stupid Christian. To me, that just reeks of a level of propaganda which is not constructive for proper discourse, yeah? A proper media source should be just saying, here's what happened, you judge it. They shouldn't be biasing it with that kind of clickbait. I'm not saying only Muslim channels do this, because other channels do it as well. We've got to have a more intelligent and objective discussion from all sides. But unfortunately, now all of these cameras and YouTube and money is in the game. I don't have a channel, okay? I make no money on this, and I'm not attempting to, I don't think. That's not my plan. But the presence of YouTube and pundits on YouTube and money making on this has made clickbait and reactionary stuff is what everybody wants to fuel. It's what everybody goes and has a look at. And it's destroying the middle ground common discourse that we're going to need, because otherwise you're going to end up with what I consider to be an idiot like Farage, a bad actor idiot running this country.
So
and if he does, I think
there's
he's
a few
going to come
things
down
you
on
mentioned.
you guys like a ton of bricks.
There's a few things that you mentioned that I think is worth highlighting.
Yeah.
Credible media channels.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these aren't credible media channels. They're individuals that come to Speaker's Corner, they film the content, and they will process things in their kind of subjective manner in a way that will be conducive and beneficial to them.
I know, but I'm appealing to you directly.
But again, just to finish the point, just to finish the point though, just to finish the point.
Yeah.
Just to finish the point, it's not something that I condone or I agree with.
Thank you.
But unfortunately and sadly, just like you're talking about Speaker's Corner, it's something that I'm familiar that happened and happens. Ben Shapiro's videos, happens in Charlie Kirk's videos, happens in Stephen, whatever his name is. A lot of these right-wing pundits. And this is something that, and they have views that absolutely eclipse our views here at Speaker's Corner. At Speaker's Corner, there will be, if you were to count, maybe 150 people here. That march, according to Tommy Robinson, had 3 million people here.
Which it did.
But that's something that they
police
claim.
estimated about 100,000 to 150,000.
Yeah, about 150,000.
And I heard Robinson say 3 million, and he should retract that.
So then, comparing say 100 over here to 3 million, I think it's a bit of a category mistake.
Sorry, on this.
Let me just finish the point, because you made a few points, and I think they were valid, but I'm just adding a bit of nuance that I've noticed. So over here, let's just say we've got a few videos, and let's just say on average, these channels get on average maybe about 5,000 views. But somebody like, say, Tommy Robinson or somebody like Ben Shapiro and these guys that will use clickbaity titles, lefty destroyed, lefty this, LGBT this, a Muslim this, extremist this, Islamist this, they completely and utterly eclipse our views. And for Speaker's Corner to be compared with that march, I think it's a bit of an unfair comparison. If you're saying it in terms of a generalistic way of thinking for society to be cohesive and to move forward, I absolutely agree with you. Generally speaking, we should be more nuanced in terms of how we present dialogue taking place, and it shouldn't be inciting, it shouldn't be putting other people off. And we need to, frankly, we shouldn't rely on filming to be our primary source of income. Because if it's not our primary source of income, then we won't necessarily care about getting the views, rather we'll be more paying attention to how it affects other people.
Agreed.
But if we actually look at what was said over there, I think organizationally, they have a lot to answer for, Tommy Robinson and his ilk, because a lot was said in that march, which is dangerous, which is not helpful, and those people were making extremist statements, and they are now walking the streets.
Okay, well then I would recommend that you give your viewers the time codes and the fact to fact check. Then I'm not up to speed and I apologize.
Well, then that's what
I was trying to join in and help on that endeavor. I didn't realize I was behind.
I did this literally like on the second or third day, and alhamdulillah, that video got seen by a lot of people. A lot of right-wing people notice I didn't say far right. Right-wing people appreciated that dialogue and that discussion. And I say to you as well that it's better if you are to give an addition, maybe might be worth you checking out, seeing what I've said, and then challenging me on certain nuances. I think that probably would be better, because it might just feed into what the people watching might think, that, maybe he's another guy that thinks everybody's far right.
No, I'm not. I think Smile to Jenna, we've chatted a lot. I think he's a really nice guy. He's got a good sense of humor. He likes some comedy stuff you'd be surprised by. And we've always had a constructive dialogue. To kick back on your point, I think although the Robinson crew, when they misrepresent their videos and their media, may have more viewers, that's secondary to the point. I think it is a point of principle. Everybody, if you're a media source, label it objectively. Don't try and trigger the worst reaction in people. It's really fueling an increased breakdown in communication, and when communication breaks down, what you're going to have left is violence, and it is heading in that direction, So I
don't think it's a like for like, though.
No, I'm afraid I think on principle it is. Do your job.
Not on principle.
I mean on principle.
Yeah, because comparing Speaker's Corner with like 3 million march.
I wasn't trying to. I'm just saying the principle is, if you've got a camera, you've got a responsibility to your audience to represent reality objectively, even steel man your own position. So here's a challenge. I can see 5 cameras here. Is there any chance these 5 cameras could label this video as Muslim and whatever I am, you
What
consider
are
me
you?
to be.
Penguin.
I'm a universalist, but I get called an atheist and a whole lot of stuff. Anyway, Muslim and say universalist, have a reasonable conversation.
At least give us a better title than that.
Okay, no, pick it. Just
Well,
pick.
certainly not universalist.
Okay, look, I'm not good at
Sounds
advertising.
like the intro to a video when the Earth globe comes up. Universal production.
Okay, what do you want to call? What do you want to call it? Give me a label
Okay.
that you would ratify that these guys as a challenge could maybe use.
Okay, so so what you do, grab me by the throat, and I go like this. That'll be
That'll
the thumbnail.
get clicks.
So universalist chokes out Muslim.
That will get clicks, but what we're aiming for is quality, not money.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking with you.
I know you are. It's funny. Anyway, look, thank you very much.
My
for your time. I
pleasure. My
appreciate it.
pleasure. And thank you for
always.
taking the time out to bring communities together.
I hope so.
And yeah, watch my video and let me know what you think
I'm
about
sorry I
it.
wasn't up to speed on that stuff.
No
But
worries.
anyway, fact check this speech. This speech is genuinely dangerous. Whether you're on the left or on the right, that's too much. Sorry, there you go.